Hey, Whiskey Fans, I'm Chris.
And I'm Kara.
Kara, what do we have today?
Today we have Found North. 2 different picks or single barrels.
I found them.
She found them.
I found them.
So this is distilled in Canada, finished in Cognac. It is 66% rye, 30% corn, and 4% barley, coming in at 58.2.
Oh, that changes it up.
I did a flipperoo. It's a blend of 19-year-old rye, 12-year-old rye, and 21-year-old corn. You got all those stats? This one is identical, except it is finished in a ruby port cask.
Yeah.
And it comes in at 55.1.
I've seen a Sauterne.
I say Sauterne. I don't know if that's right.
And then I've seen a toasted, and then I've seen, like, not finished.
Today we're here because Found North is on our radar, and we just want to see what their distillate is. It's finished 2 different ways. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm super excited because I get to drink.
So we're here to drink for you. I say
Cognac?
Cognac first?
Probably.
Cognac first.
Oh. Hello. Somebody came to the party to play.
This is very rye and sweet and caramely and a little bit of...
I'm getting the corn for sure.
Is that like a red wine blend-esque? It's like, it reminds me of a blended rye, a blended red wine finished in bourbon barrels.
Really?
Yeah, there's this,
A note for you?
Yeah.
I'm almost getting, and this is very specific.
Yeah, it smells amazing.
Okay, so I think it's Treetop that has like the 3 different apple juice, where it's a little bit darker.
Oh.
Kind of smells like that. Not like a golden apple juice.
I'm getting a hint of berry on that too. Maybe that's why I lean toward that red wine.
Yeah, I'm getting the sweetness that you would expect from a corn whiskey, though. That's where the sweetness is coming in.
Oh, yep, totally forgot about the corn.
It's not super herbally or minty.
No, but
expect from a rye.
There's something there. There's definitely something there. You're like, this is definitely a rye and not a bourbon. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's the.
Can I get into this?
The outdoorsy nose.
Oh, you're good.
I'm gonna nose the port. You can do your thing.
Well, I guess I'll do the thing with you.
This is brighter, and this is more appley to me.
No, this is more like darker fruit.
I'm getting the opposite.
With a little bit of, like, brown sugar, which is weird.
There's a lightness, a light caramel note on this that I think the port is... Did I mix up my glasses?
Did you?
Okay, am I tripping? Yep.
You're tripping.
How's
your fall? Bam.
Huh, okay. 2 distinctly different noses. And I'm going to go into the palate to catch up.
Whoa. There's so much herbalness on that I did not get on the nose. That is like rye. Where's the corn whiskey?
Oh, that's...
Corn whiskey's on the nose. But, okay, it has a sweetness that I guess that presents itself, but it's so much herbal.
I got sweet mint in the mid palate like for days.
So is it the corn whiskey or is it the cognac finish that's giving me this sweetness?
It's very herbaceous, and spicy. It's got that spicy rye coming to play.
You said it's 58 something?
I think so.
58.2, yeah.
And you get I'm getting like this like tingly in my throat, like the pepperiness in the back. It's going down my throat a little bit. Not so much as Kentucky Hug, but it's like right here.
I feel like a spicy meatball.
Yeah.
This is there, but it has sweetness to it.
Oh, sure. If you like spicy ryes with a little bit of caramel drizzle, with a little bit of... I was getting fruit. I'm going to go back and see if it's still there.
But okay, so it has herbal to it, quality, but it's not like, say, as herbally as like a Willet rye. That is just straight up nature in your mouth. This, or Ricola, this is... It got something else to round it out. It's still there, but it has a softness to it.
This is really interesting with the cognac.
Yeah. But is it the cognac that's coming out to play with some of those flavors, or is it the corn whiskey? That's what I'm tricky. Because it's not. It has the sweetness that you would expect from a corn whiskey.
It does.
And the spice. But where's the spice coming from?
The rye.
But some of those corn whiskeys has a spice to it as well.
Do they? This is fun.
This is fun.
Should we take a water break before we jump into the port?
All right. All right, we went swimming. Had a nice little water break. Okay, this smells so much richer though. Whereas the cognac has a bit more sweetness to it. The port is more like a savory.
I don't know.
Side by side.
I'm thinking this smells a little more sweeter.
Yes, the cognac is definitely sweeter.
I didn't get that at first. Isn't that interesting?
For some reason, I kept getting sweetness, but it was weird. It was pulling me off. This port has a much darker nose, and I'm getting like a brown sugar sweetness. It's just more savory.
I'm getting cut branches.
Okay,
that's what I'm getting. I'm getting a little bit of outdoors with the sweetness, which I didn't expect. But
I'm gonna get into it. Yeah. It has much creamier.
The thickness is
It's
a little more viscous. And it's actually lower proof.
It's not as herbal. It's still got it.
Not. It's 55.1.
This drinks like it was a freshly dumped port barrel. Where it's got wine on the palate. I'm gonna
These are different experiences completely.
So different.
So depending on what your preferences are.
Yeah. This is like, I feel like the cognac one is the Jedi, and then the port is, what's the red Star Wars people?
I don't know. We'll just call it the dark side.
The dark side. I'm going to get so much hate for this. I don't know my Star Wars stuff.
I don't know Star Wars
I just like the land at Disneyland.
It is much darker, and it has this, like, I'm going to sit for this for a second. I'll be back.
Okay, you can sit for this, but I'm probably going to cause some hatred, because I'm going to say something. I like this better than the Midwinter's Night Dram. Same in theory, right?
Right. Except for this
older rye, even though it's
Canadian. But this has a lot of corn whiskey in it, though.
I don't care.
So maybe that's why it starts. So it is a hot take.
We've only had one
hot take.
We've only had one midwinters that were like, oh, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Because they are different.
Yes.
Otherwise, they're just kind of like, okay, this, I don't know why I tend to like this a little bit more than midwinters. And when I say a little bit, I mean like a lot more. Is it because the batches we've had just aren't that great?
Mm-hmm. I think the amount of corn whiskey that they blend into both of these allow it to have a sweetness and the spiciness, where sometimes you'll get a rye finished in, let's say, for instance, port, that is so herbaceous and rye forward, and if that's not your jam, it's hard to overcome. I think this one is a teeny bit more approachable if you like port finishes.
Yeah.
In a rye, because it adds a little layer of that sweetness.
Brings both parties to the table. But in a nice rounded way.
There's just it's a completely different balance with the rye and the corn whiskey that it's really hard to compare this outside of this line. If I were approached and say you can only have a rye finished in port or this rye finished in port, I would take this over the kind of semi-allocated midwinters. I would probably gravitate more.
And this is cheaper right now
with this.
With the price hikes that they have. Yeah. This is cheaper.
And it's much older. Yeah. If that's your thing, if that matters to you. Yeah. Much older. I don't know. It's just
more my profile.
It is more your profile. Yeah. Like, I'm digging that.
Going back to the cognac, after drinking the port, I'm not digging it. I'm not digging it. It's just not my profile. It's more herbally for me. It's just I feel like the cognac has like this weird.
It's a little more spikier.
Spiky. The port, and I think because it was so fresh, because it's like you put.
It's a wet barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of port
and it's so much creamier. It is sweet, but it doesn't like take you on a roller coaster. So it's not really like it's super amount of depth involved, but it's just a nice drink.
If you like the caramely sweetness of cognac, but you also want the rye to show through a little more.
With a little kick.
I think this might be your jam. If you really dig sweet port finished ryes and you're looking for something a little more heftier and approachable and maybe findable than a midwinters, I think this is the go-to.
This is still on the shelf. It's
both solid offerings, in my opinion, out of Found North.
I think it just comes down to what your palate.
Personal preference. Or if you like all kinds of finishes, why not both?
Yeah, I could see a lot of people gravitating towards more the cognac because it has a little bit of something, like of everything, right? But for me, it's just a little like all over the place. And it's not like a smooth transition.
This has more of a smooth
transition. But it's also, it doesn't take you on a trip. Run. So if you like, say how I was talking about Star Wars Disneyland, if you like just a slow, nice little thing, this right here, what's that boat ride that you always fall asleep on?
I don't know. Oh, Small World.
It's a Small World. This is like, it's a Small World. Like, you just know you're expecting just a smooth ride. It's like, it's cool. It's not going to take you on an adventure. But it's good.
It's very good.
We'll talk about the ride later. The cognac, this is right here, this is like a Space Mountain. Or that thing, what's that goofy sky school that just jerks you around and you lose a kidney and a pancreas and...
I don't know if it's that, I don't know if it's that abrupt, but...
Takes you on a...
Yeah, I like that analogy. This is a more of a smooth sailing, this is a more of a slightly rapid river. Yeah. No problem. I get your analogy. So have you guys had a chance to find Found North? And what is your experience with this fascinating Canadian rye? Give us your tasting notes. And what did you get a finished barrel? Put that in the comments below. And while you're down there, hit that thumbs up button. If you like what we're doing with our channel, please subscribe. And just turn on your notifications so you can join us in our next video. Well, I don't know about you.
I enjoy the port.
I fancy these whiskeys. Cheers.